As you know, I'm a biker, backpacker, and travel writer. And while I have made videos about my one or two individual books earlier, I never really taken you guys through all the books that I have written. So I thought this is a good opportunity. Let's just go through all the books and the travels which I have written about that. So my first travel book was this book, Three Men on Motorcycles: The Amigos Ride to Ladakh. This is obviously about the Amigos, which is the three of us, me, Adi, and Dilzar. And it is obviously about a ride to Ladakh. The fun part is this was our first solo, is that the word? So normally these groups that ride to Ladakh are like, very large, very big. They carry engineers, well not engineers, but they carry a repairman, they carry a doctor. It is large. This was the first time it was just the three of us. And we had a great time. And I wrote this book almost 4 years after I did the trip. And it was as much fun to write as it will be fun to read. The second book is Three Men Ride Again, which is the Amigos Ride to Spiti. Spiti is this was our second ride the next year. Spiti is a region in Himachal Pradesh which borders towards Ladakh, so it is pretty much like Ladakh. And this was immediately after Deldar actually had an accident uh, earlier in the year, and how he rose like the phoenix, and we rode again this year. Again, it's amazing fun, great fun. All good things come in threes. So this is the third book, which is Three Men Ride South, which is the Amigos Ride to Coorg. Coorg, as you know, is in Karnataka, and this story is about obviously about riding south. It starts with a weekend trip where we set out. We'll just ride out for a weekend and to a place called Anjarle on the Konkan coast. And I enjoyed myself so much that I just kept riding. I said, "Chalo, let's keep going." I wanted to see a fort called Vijaydur, and then I said, "Oh, let's keep going. Let's go to Goa." And I went to Goa. She, you must be obeyed, said, "What on earth are you doing sitting in Goa, which you have been to so many times? Keep going. Go down to Karnataka." So went to Karnataka. Then later on, the Amigos joined, and we rode from Mangalore to Coorg to Bangalore. So this is the story of Three Men Ride South. The fourth Amigos book was our most exciting adventure, just Three Men Ride the Cliffhanger. Uh, this actually we rode beyond the cliffhanger, but this is the title. Now the cliffhanger is a road that connects Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir, and it's a very narrow road on the lip of a mountain with it has just one vehicle and two vehicles can pass, but it's like it's no safety railings, and it's there are 2 kilometers straight drop into the drink. So that's why it's called the cliffhanger road. So but we rode much beyond that. We rode uh, from the cliffhanger, we came down via Such Pass into Himachal, and then we went back up to Manali, went back to Leh, did the Manali Leh road. Then we explored Ladakh quite a bit, which is just the two of us, me and Dilzad. So it's an amazing book, lot of adventure. Three Men Ride the Cliffhanger. And then we have the last Amigos book, which is Three Men Ride West. The Amigos Ride to Gujarat and Diu. So it started out with, let's go somewhere for a weekend, and no weekend. So then I said, okay, I want to go to the Rajasthan festival, which is an awesome music festival held in the sands in Jaisalmer. And we said, okay, going straight to Rajasthan is boring, so let us explore something on the way. And what is between Bombay and Rajasthan is obviously Gujarat. So we explored Saurashtra region of Gujarat, and it was an eye opener of a place. I never thought that it would be so awesome, and it has got so much to see and so much historical background to process. I thoroughly recommend you check out this book. Three men ride west. The amigos ride to Gujarat and Diu. Now, by this time, obviously, life was catching up to the amigos. Adi, as you will know if you read these books, fell in love, and then he got married, and then his long riding came to a bit of a halt. Delgado got increasingly caught up in uh, work and stuff. So then I started riding alone. So my first book about that was this one. One man rides alone, bike and hike, Uttarakhand. So I went with the Royal Enfield ride to Uttarakhand first, and then I split out from them, and I did an absolutely awesome solo ride where I explored nooks and crannies of Uttarakhand. I went trekking to Valley of Flowers and Devriya Tal and Tungnath, and went to Mana Pass and uh, the other border areas. It's an amazing book, excellent book. You must read it. Then an epic ride was my ride to solo ride to Northeast. One man rides Northeast. The amigo rides to Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, and Nagaland. So here again I took the bike to Guwahati, and from Guwahati we explored Meghalaya, Manipur, then went to Nagaland, where I attended the Hornbill Festival. So actually the whole ride went around the Hornbill Festival, which is a tourism festival held in Nagaland. And from there, Delta joined me at the Hornbill, and then we went and explored Assam, explored a little bit Assam, Kaziranga, and then we came back. So this is a really awesome book. It's Northeast is an unexplored gem, and the historical background behind it is something which is something which somehow is de-emphasized nowadays. But it was home to the most important battle of World War II. If the British had lost the battle to the Japanese and they had not held them off in the northeast, the Japanese would have conceivably entered the plains of India and taken a big bite out of British India, and that would have changed the course of World War II uh, immeasurably. And so it was as important a battle for the Asian front as Stalingrad was for the northern front. The Stalingrad was the first time where the Nazis was turned back, and Battle of Imphal and uh, uh, Nagaland were the first time that the Japanese were turned back. And obviously, Indians are conflicted about it because Subhash Chandra Bose and the Indian National Army were also part of that Japanese attack. So, and they lost obviously, and everybody died. So it's a very emotive, conflicted kind of issue for India. But it's an amazing place. You again read the book; it will give you a lot of insight. Then apart from biking, I do a lot of backpacking. I started out my traveling stories with backpacking. So there's a whole separate series about that. So the first book in that is One Man Goes Backpacking, which is the Amigo at the Kumbh Mela. So this was the first time that I discovered the joys of backpacking with the Lonely Planet and stuff. And I went to explore Kumbh Mela and East India and stuff like that. It's amazing fun. These stories are all fantastic. Uh, the second book is the most important one because it involves the entry of a very important person in my life, which is She Who Must Be Obeyed, my wife. Mm. So we went trekking straight to Mount Everest base camp. So I had never been to the Himalayas before. I said, come, let's go. And then we went trekking to the Mount Everest base camp, and I discovered the incredible character that is Bharti. So this book is stories of Bharti interspersed with our trek, and a lot of fascinating information on how Everest was discovered, how it was named, how it was climbed, and what are all the very fascinating historical forces at play at that time. The first Cold War that was happening, and the whole story of the Kumbu region. It's very interesting. You must check it out. Then the third, after I met Bhati, we fell in love and we started traveling and went on this trip, which is one man goes on a bus, which you must be obeyed. So Spiti and Ladakh on public transport. So on the HP State Transport Corporation, which has these green buses which go all over the mountain roads in Himachal. So we explored from we took a train from Delhi to uh, Shimla. On the way, we saw a place called Bado, which was so beautiful that we just jumped off the train and stayed there for a night. And then we took one. The station master was so happy to see two lovers out there that he gave us his best retiring room and he booked on first class uh, compartment for us to go to Shimla. From Shimla, we sat in this rattly old buses and we went up the Spiti road, which we saw earlier in the three-man ride again. This thing, and then we came to Manali, and then from Manali we took a bus to Leh, which is the Manali Leh route. So uh, this is a completely different way of traveling, and it is just like I said, great fun. Now, soon after this thing, I basically got the sack from my job. And so, what do you do after getting the sack? Most girlfriends will say, "Ah, you got the sack, find another job." But Bharti said, "Wow, you got the sack, yay!" I said, "What?" Then, no, you can travel now without any fear. So, I spent my unemployment time traveling the world. Well, India and bits of the world. And so, this is the story of that really tumultuous time in my life, which is when I was sitting at home scratching and waiting for a job. And then after that, I started biking, and then those biking books happened. And then I discovered, then I said, I must lose weight. So I started cycling to lose weight. Then I got really bored going round and round in circles on the cycle. So I said, let me start cycling, exploring Bombay on cycle. So I did a lot of that. And then Bharti said, what is the Wimpy with the Bombay exploring you're doing? You should go long distance. Because Bharti herself is a great cyclist. She has done all kind of crazy routes on cycle. She's traveled Bombay to Goa, Goa to Mangalore, Mangalore to Madgaon to Mangalore, Manali to Srinagar, Leh, Manali on cycle, and even the Karakoram highway is on cycle. So she's basically crazy. Okay. So now one last thing is left in my Western India route, which is Bombay to Goa. If you're a man, come with me for Bombay to Goa. So I went cycling with her. One man goes cycling. Which you must be with Mumbai to Goa or bust. So I said, okay, let me cheat a bit. Let me buy an electric cycle. So I will cycle for as long as I can, and then when I get exhausted, I'll use the electric cycle. But the electric cycle had a mind of its own, and a very 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 strong personality, and it almost killed me a couple of times. So this is the story of Mumbai to Goa with big dollops of Maratha history, Maharashtrian history, Cobra history, and the very, very fascinating place of the world, which is the western coast of India, which is a meeting place of cultures. Because over the millennia, people have been coming from Arabia, from Africa, from Middle East, from Europe, all of whom have been landing on this patch of land, which is the western coast of India. And we'll learn what all the various things they have been doing out there. So, in addition to all this local travel, I have done awful lot of overseas travel. Again, not nothing to do with me. It's because of she who was obeyed because she is into travel all the time. And this is the thing I do, which is I do hostage passport. So this is my latest book, which is a bunch of short stories as compared to all of these, which are one complete narrative. These are a bunch of short stories of our various travel adventures and misadventures all over the world. So we have New Zealand, Australia, South America, South Africa, uh, USA, Japan, and some other places as well in that. And all the various adventures we had. And obviously, the most signature one was my passport got washed in Italy. She went up in flames. So, how did I survive? I obviously did since I'm back here. But this is my latest book, which is The Man Who Watched His Passport. So these are all the travel books. But my my first writing was actually fiction. So I used to write short stories and detective stories. So these are also very cool. There is one, Bombay Thrillers, which is a collection of short stories, all set in Bombay, Mumbai, and well, that's why they are called Bombay Thrillers. And they're very fun, twist the tale, dark humor, dark murder kind of, very fun short stories. Which, if you enjoy stuff like, I don't know, Jeffrey Archer or Roald Dahl in his really dark moods. This is, very nice short stories. And I wrote a book of detective stories, which is D.P. Singh, Private Detective, where this is a very Indian, so unlike, all the other guys who are clones of Sherlock Holmes and in various ways, this thing I tried to make him as un-Sherlock a character as possible, a very Indian detective who solves very strange kind of crimes, which are very Indian in nature, and uh, it's again something I really like, because this was my first amount of writing, and this was my first novel, which is D.P. Singh, The Mystery of the Office Rat. So it's about catching an office spy. So this was the first book in which I really broke through of all literary styles and said, ki, never mind anything else, let me just write a book in free-flowing style. So this is the first time that I really broke through of all style barriers and, polite writing and stuff like that. So this is very important for that sense, in which I struck out in my own style. It's again a funny book, very enjoyable. Well, I enjoyed it. But my very first book, which again I am still very proud of, which was published in 2009. My first published book by a publisher was actually, uh, I wouldn't call it a textbook, but it is about work. It's about what they don't teach you about marketing, filling the gap between curriculum and real life. So this was aimed at MBA students who have just graduated with stars in their eyes, and they want to enter the field of brand marketing, and they join a company. And then, most companies have this, a lot of companies, I would suppose, have this funda that, throw them in the deep end and watch them sink or swim, and don't support them. And it can be a very, and it's important also, because these guys have come from being the senior most people in their time of life. So they'll be upperclassmen, there will be senior most postgraduate students. They think they're big shots, and then you come to the company where you are the lowermost, hey you, garbage trash person around. And that whole idea is to, remove their egos and mold them into being effective corporate workers. However, you need a mentor to hold your hand and guide you through these somewhat tumultuous times, and this is what this book is supposed to be. It will help you make the move into real life working, and find out what a marketing department is, what it does, and what are you as a trainee supposed to do in that. My very first book, very proud of this. And that's it. These are all my books, 17 books so far. Many more in my to be written list. Let's see when they happen. Anyway, cheers. I do hope that you read some of them. If you do, please do let me know. I'll be looking forward to your feedback. Cheers.